privacy.
Good evening, ghosts and ghouls. It's the one, the only JT Ripper, and I'm here with Todd of Thunder, and you're listening to a Horrorble Conversation, where we're going to talk about this week's latest horror news and topics.
Yes, indeedy. We got our brand new equipment here. This is our first Horrorble Conversation.
Hopefully it's loud and clear.
Yeah, and, we got a couple things to talk about. Not too much, but the first thing I want to talk about is this fucking Cocaine Bear movie. What? Exactly. If you've never heard of it, it's a movie coming out called Cocaine Bear. It's coming out February 24th. And let me just read you a little bit about what this is about, okay? After eating a duffel bag full of cocaine, a American black bear goes on a murderous rampage in a small Georgia town where a group of locals and tourists must join forces in order to survive the attack. Now, this sounds right up my fucking alley.
There's a trailer out for this.
Yes, there is a trailer. Go watch it. You will, I don't know what your reaction will be, but my reaction is I want to fucking see this immediately.
Yeah.
I feel like this is going to be some fun shit.
Is it going to theaters?
I don't know. It just says coming out February 24th. If it does go to theaters, I expect it to do, limited.
This movie is actually based off of a real story.
Yeah, it really
this
happened.
really happened. Well, the bear didn't go on like a killing spree, but
no, but it did ingest cocaine and it did act. Yeah, it acted pretty funny.
Yeah.
Here's some other interesting news. As some people may know, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre house, like where it was actually filmed out, was turned into a bed and breakfast long time ago.
Yeah.
Well, they have new owners now, okay? And it's located in Kingsland, Texas. And the new owners are renovating it. They're doing updates. And they're going to rename it. It was called the Grand Central Cafe Restaurant. Now it's going to be called Hooper's. And that is
okay.
Yep, that is a tribute to Tobe Hooper, who directed the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre, who unfortunately passed away in 2017. So I thought that was pretty damn cool that they're, doing like a tribute to him.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. It seems, with owners like that, I kind of feel like they're going to go with a more Texas Chainsaw Massacre theme in it.
Yeah, especially with...
which they should. I mean, that's why people come in there.
It's going to be like a restaurant/bar area, so it's probably going to have that relaxed atmosphere like a sports bar, except it's probably going to be catered more towards, the legend of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre film.
That'd be kind of a cool trip to make. I mean, Texas ain't too far away from here.
Yeah, it's one place that I would actually really like to visit and be a part of. And, unfortunately, people pass away in the genre, and we hate to report all this, but, it's something.
It's news.
Cliff Emmerich died November 28th. You might recognize him from Return to Slaughter High, or most horror fans would recognize him as the security guard, Mr. Garrett, from Halloween 2.
Yeah.
And of course,
we never got to meet him, unfortunately.
Yeah. He did conventions quite often. So
yeah.
And Christy Alley died December 5th. Man. She was a longtime cast member of the show Cheers that was so popular for so long on American television.
Yep.
Sci-fi and horror fans might recognize her from Star Trek II, Wrath of Khan, and John Carpenter's Village of the Damned, the 1995 version.
Right.
So, rest in peace to both of them who, contribute to the genre.
Yeah.
And, finally, I figured we end this on a pretty fun note. What I got right here is, well, I fucked up. Go ahead.
Round of applause, people. Round of applause.
Before I end this on a fun note, I want to give a Mad Monster Party update, which is going down February 17th through the 19th. That is the horror convention going on in Concord, North Carolina. Just want to run through the updated roster and the people that you will see there.
Yeah.
So
some goodies.
The first one, we have a lot of people from the American Horror Story series. We have Alexandria Berkeridge. We have John Carroll Lynch. We have Dylan McDermott. And we have Dennis O'Hare, who is also from True Blood. So
yeah, the ladies will be there for that.
We also have Christine Ellis from Child's Play 2. We have Alex Vinson from Child's Play and Child's Play 2.
The TV series.
And the TV series.
And Chucky, right?
Yeah, and Colder Chucky. Legendary original drummer for the legendary band Kiss, Peter Criss, will be there, which is pretty freaking cool.
Yeah, I think your son, my godson's pretty excited about that.
Oh, yeah, he asked me today. He asked me, if you go, I want to go. I want to meet the Cat Man. So... Of course, Robert Englund, the big one from A Nightmare on Elm Street.
Welcome to prime time, bitch!
Let's see here. Today was just announced that Keith David is going to be there. You might know him from They Live. You might know him as the voice of Goliath from the Gargoyles. He does the President's voice in Rick and Morty for updated fans.
Yeah. And what is it? Princess and the Frog. He was the voodoo villain.
And
also,
Deep Roy was announced. If that doesn't ring a bell, he's from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He's the Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
The little short guy.
Yeah, he's also been in some sci-fi movies too, I think.
Yeah, he's also doubled as like Yoda in some of the Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. That's, I personally probably won't meet him. I mean, like, unless he's like $20 or something. And come here, give me a hug, you little bastard.
And finally, Alex Winter from the Bill and Ted movies.
I saw that, and Lost Boys.
And the Lost Boys. So that's your updated roster. Of course, that's not even scratching the surface of what these conventions do. That's just, that's probably not even half. That's just what's been announced right now.
Yeah.
So that's just
you'll have a
update.
lot more coming in I'd say probably by mid-January you'll have all your people announced.
And this is what I was leading to. I went to horrornews.net and they had like a little article up and it said 10 facts you may or may not know about Jason Voorhees.
Okay.
And I wrote them down and I thought, this would be kind of cool for us to react to. Some of these we know, some of these may be a shocker to us, but, I'm going to go ahead and read them and, hopefully some of this will be like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's see what's cooking.
Number 10, 9 actors have played Jason Voorhees with Kane Hodder doing the most at 4. We knew that. Here's a fact for you. Number 9, almost every final girl has blonde hair or some variation of blonde hair. There's at least 7 final girls with blonde hair in this. So Jason has a thing for blondes.
Huh.
Yeah.
He does. Now thinking about it. Wow.
Number 8, instead of a hockey mask, he almost had an umpire's mask.
I heard that. Yeah, that would have not worked at all.
No, I don't think it would have been as iconic at all.
No. I definitely wouldn't have had that tattooed on me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In number 7, in 2005, they did a survey from it was from California State University Media Psychological Lab. Easy for me to say. But they did a survey of favorite movie monsters, right? And it included at least 10 movie monsters. It included Chucky, Godzilla, Dracula, Hannibal Lecter, all that good stuff. And Jason Voorhees had the highest score by a landslide. So the university actually dubbed him the King of Killers, movie-wise.
Huh.
So he actually has been dubbed by a university as, the king.
Now, if we could just get a new fucking Friday the 13th movie.
That would be awesome.
That tells me right there that people want it.
Yeah.
Without telling me.
Yeah, I mean,
if he's the most recognizable, you know that it would fucking smash box office records.
Absolutely. Number 6, long before he fought Freddy Krueger, the very first other horror icon that he had a run-in with was Leatherface in the comic books.
Oh, okay.
They did a crossover in one of the comic books, and he fought Leatherface long before the 2003 movie was made.
Interesting. That could have worked. Jason versus Leatherface.
Yeah, it would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Number 5, in the original first draft of Friday the 13th, Jason was not deformed.
Oh, no shit.
He was just
a regular kid.
He was just a regular kid that had an unfortunate accident.
Huh.
Number 4, the name Voorhees is Dutch.
I did know that.
I didn't, and still probably don't care.
They found it funny.
Number 3, in the comic books, his father was revealed, and his name is Elias Voorhees. I knew this simply from the Friday the 13th Part 7 special features on the DVD.
Right.
Number 2, according to Victor Miller, who wrote the original script, instead of having his name be Jason, his name was going to be Josh.
Ooh.
He was actually going to name him after his own son.
Josh.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have worked.
I'm glad that he changed it. And the number 1 fact that you may or may not know is that Jason Voorhees won a Lifetime Achievement Award at the 1992 MTV Movie Awards, and it was John Lovitz who wore the hockey mask and a tuxedo that had accepted the award.
What?
I actually knew this without knowing this, and the reason why I knew it but kind of forgotten it is because I would always watch these shows on MTV2 where they would show the best of the MTV Movie Awards, and they would just put all this shit together. And it was on there, and I never knew what the fuck it was. I just knew there was some guy in a tuxedo with a fucking Jason mask on. I never knew what it was, but it was the 1992 MTV Movie Awards where Jason Voorhees won the Lifetime Achievement Award. And
I did not know that.
Yeah, and
That's
it was
fucking hilarious.
And it was John Lovitz, the same John Lovitz from Saturday Night Live, the same one that was the peeping Tom in the beginning of Little Nicky.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
That's funny. I did not know that.
Yeah, I thought that was a pretty good article they put up. 10 facts you may or may not know about Jason Voorhees.
That was some of that I knew, some of that I didn't know. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it was. I do like going to these little sites and seeing little articles like that, and reporting on it, and getting our reaction to stuff like this. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's always a fun time.
Yeah. You got anything else you want to talk about?
I know you haven't looked at this. I'll talk about this briefly. They came out with recent images of the Thundercat movie that apparently was made in the 80s, but just never completed. I guess they shelved it because they thought it looked like shit. And it definitely it has that Masters of the Universe look to it.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the prosthetics in it are fucking creepy. I mean, American Werewolf in London type creepy looking.
Well, that kind of surprises me because the 80s and early 90s was definitely a decade where they wasn't afraid to come out with questionable shit.
Yeah.
A lot of it was shit on and still shit on, but a lot of it I always like for example, Howard the Duck is always on one of the worst movies of all time
I
list.
enjoyed it as a kid.
And I love that movie. I like that movie today.
Yeah.
I think
it's still hilarious.
yeah, it's not your, superhero Howard the Duck, but it's a fucking duck.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Super Mario Brothers movie. I liked that as a kid. I like it now.
It's a good bad thing to me. Like, it really has nothing to do with the Mario video game.
Mm-hmm.
But there's parts of it that I still enjoy, and I still do like rewatching it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you take Super Mario Brothers off of it, it's not a bad movie.
I mean, in my opinion...
I mean, it's bad, but it's good bad.
In my opinion, none of that matters. Because there's a lot of films that came out that were based on either comic books or video games that had nothing to do with a comic book or the video game.
Street Fighter.
Yeah. And
Dragon.
I was perfectly fine with that. And the reason that is it wasn't an original concept, but it was an original story. They took the origins. I mean, look, if I've played the video game and I know what's going to happen, A, B, C, and D, why the fuck do I want to watch the movie?
True, but the problem with Super Mario is that they didn't look remotely like their characters except for Mario and Luigi.
Well, they're kind of the stars.
Yeah, but, the Koopas were like lizards and Bowser was a human.
Well, he had bumps on his head. Hey, honestly, if I can get Dennis Hooper playing a role or getting some CGI makeup that looks real, I'd rather have Dennis Hooper. He's a better actor.
They turned him into T-Rex.
That's fine.
It's not fine. That's
perfectly fine.
But it's good bad. But we all know the best comic book movie so far is Mortal Kombat, the first one.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's probably the best adaptation. Like
as far as like a video game.
Yeah, game movie.
Yeah, I would
the
say
new Mortal Kombat was just that new character was a bitch.
Yeah, I didn't care for him at all. I mean, here's a guy that was supposed to be the chosen one and have these powers, and here you have these other characters who don't even have powers, but somehow find their powers before this guy, who's supposed to be the chosen one, can even remotely locate his asshole.
Yeah, and his power is he gets powers from getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Congratulations, you're a babyface that makes a shitty comeback.
Yeah. Anyway, this has nothing to do with horror, but, we went down the rabbit hole, and we might as well talk about it.
Yeah, but that's pretty much it as far as news and topics and everything like that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. We do appreciate y'all listening to us. Taking the time out of your day to hear us complain or to give you some news.
Giggles.
Giggles. Giggles, giggles, giggles. But I'm JT Ripper.
And I'm Todd of Thunder saying toodaloo.
And I'm going to give this one to Little John. What?